What if I told you there's a wave that you can ride for over 10 miles? A wave so powerful it has killed hundreds of people and been called one of the 7 wonders of the world. A wave so feared that the locals named it the Silver Dragon. What if I told you this wave is in a river? Would you believe me? Once again, Red Bull and Wapsano have teamed up to put on the only surf contest of its kind on the Qiantang River in Hangzhou, China. 4 teams of surfers will compete for $25,000 and a chance to surf the largest tidal bore in the world. The teams will be judged on international rules for a combination of radical, controlled maneuvers on critical sections of the wave with speed, power, and flow. The team that combines the best rides will be crowned the winner of the 2013 Red Bull Qiantang Shootout.
I didn't know what to think when I was first invited here to Hangzhou in China.
Never would I thought that I'd be surfing a tidal bore.
And I was like, whoa, that'd be nuts, a 6-mile wave.
Growing up, you never think you'd be surfing a wave in China, let alone a river.
When Wapsano told us that we'd have the opportunity to surf the river, I was blown away.
And we don't let those opportunities go by.
Hangzhou is a very modern city. You've got a mixture of old and new.
It's a massive city and there's just buildings going up everywhere.
Unbelievably huge amounts of construction going up. There's just skyscrapers everywhere.
On one side of the river, it's very modern architecture, and on the other side, it's old, lots of trees and old style buildings.
I think it's like 1,000 years old, so there's obviously a lot of history to the city as well.
The city of Hangzhou is so beautiful with so much great architecture.
It feels like I'm in New York. This big river sort of wraps all the way through the middle of Hangzhou.
It's so unique. It's a tidal wave that comes down the river.
It's been breaking for thousands of years.
I guess it's the China Sea just funneling into this narrow river that runs right up this city.
And when the tide shifts, that big body of water tries to push its way down the narrow river.
The funnel effect it creates, all the water kind of suddenly pushes into a narrow entrance and goes from deeper to shallow water quite quickly, and all the water rushes back up the river, creating the tidal wave.
It's this crazy river wave that runs for miles that you can surf.
It's straight up a tsunami through a river.
Words are hard to describe exactly how you feel when it arrives.
Just seeing it isn't enough. Actually riding the wave is just surreal.
Man, when it turns up, it's something special, something that I've never seen before.
Like probably one of the most unique waves in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's cool.
Pretty excited to get back and have another crack at it. And pretty fun little trip down the river. It's a pretty unique kind of wave, so hopefully the banks have changed a little bit and they offer something a little bit different to last year. So
just no expectations, just wait and see what happens when it turns up.
I'm nervous, definitely. I'm expecting hopefully not to get lost off the back of the wave.
Yeah, I was here last year as a judge, and just seeing where the wave sections break, I think gives me a little bit of an advantage.
Hopefully we have some good teamwork and communication. Yeah!
You know, Trent's a good surfer and he knows how to drive a ski, so I think we'll be able to change over really quickly and get plenty of waves each. So I think we're just going to go out there and do what we do, and if we get through, we get through. If not, we'll have a good time at doing it.
Pretty relaxed. More nervous about the colour of the water more than anything. Just trying not to fall off.
back section of the wave is obviously the best wave and it's the biggest and kind of offers the biggest opportunities to do a couple of smacks. And yeah, I was lucky. I think the first wave I got really walled up well, and I was able to throw a couple of turns and then a couple of kind of hacks off the top, and then at the end I was able to set up for a couple of Rios.
It was so much fun, exceeded my expectations. I was here last year and I saw it, and it just, blew my mind actually being able to surf it. It was so surreal, like tidal wave in the middle of China. Nose riding is what sets me aside from the other guys, so I was just trying to post up on the nose. I think that I got one maybe like a minute or two long. My back leg just gave out.
Wow, look at this boat coming at me, and there's a tidal wave coming down the river, and I was kind of thinking, on one side I was like, how's this guy going to negotiate this wave? The lift in the tail of the boat, just the propellers were just spinning, and the noise, like, I'll never forget.
It was super fun and super crazy. I mean, the first section definitely was a lot more powerful and bigger than I thought, and it definitely crept up close. And looking at the wave, the tidal board kind of coming at you is definitely kind of a crazy experience. You're kind of looking and you're like, oh my gosh, like what is this thing?
What's that?
Dude, that was the sickest.
Fuck, man. With all you guys there, so mental.
We got up there and we already saw it was coming, and so much more water in the river today. You could see it was a lot bigger. I think it's supposed to get bigger the next 2 days, so it was good. I think it was a really good size for the river today. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small, and it was hitting a lot of those sections nice.
It came earlier than we thought, and it had a lot more front to it today, which was exciting. So super excited to be here, and great day surfing, great conditions, and yeah, it's pretty chaos after that wave goes in.
While Team Life Proof and Ocean and Earth were competing, the boys from Team Ruka and the crew decided to venture off to one of China's martial arts studios to watch surfer and MMA fighter Richie Vasilik being taught by the local masters in ancient culture and martial arts technique.
Next, first of all, Mr. Lee will show you a Chinese martial called Tai Chi.
Yep.
Shadow box. Then the second step is you show them some MMA.
Okay.
Then the third step you exchange.
Cool. Thank you.
After a day of grappling and making new friends, the two teams were ready to square off in round 2.
I can't wait to see you blow the tail on one of these waves.
Can't blow the tail on a normal wave.
So Mark and Rich are going to do the same thing that Anastasia and Steve did yesterday.
Just get heaps of jet ski wake on McCool's waves so he falls off. Hopefully get a wave out the back. I didn't ride a wave last time, so I don't really learn anything.
Yeah, Kyle, I guess the start of the wave is they said is the best, so try and get most of your surfing done up there. I think where it's the biggest and probably offers you the best waves, so just want to go out there and just have good fun really. I'm out there with 4 mates and surfing a wave in a country, in a river I've never been to, so it's a pretty cool experience. I'm just stoked to be here.
Ready, bro. Ready to rock.
First off, welcome everybody to the day 2 of qualifying of the Red Bull Qiantang Shootout. The youngest of our surfers is going to pick heads or tails. Come on, let's let the kid pick it. Heads or tails?
I'm going to go with heads.
Calls heads. Ooh, all right. Heads it is. All right. Team Ruka. Wait a minute. What do you want to do? Do you want to take that first wave? You taking priority or are you going to give it up?
Yeah, you get the close out, right?
Let's go surfing first.
All right, Ruka is taking the first priority. They're taking a chance here. That wave could be real high quality, could be sketchy.
Yeah, but we can hit the close out, ride the whitewash, and keep surfing.
That could happen.
Mean we gotta kick out, right?
That's true. Okay. No, it happens. All right, let's mount up.
I'm sure if you slap the close out, it's gonna be a pretty good score.
I think it was halfway down the river from where we started. This one wave broke off the wall, and it was like a perfect left. It was like in the ocean. It was like just turns and turns so far. I was like smiling the whole way.
It's nuts. It was kind of big at first. I was tripping. I was like, oh. Hopefully we make it to the finals. That's all I can say. Stoked. So much fun. The first day was pretty small and you didn't have that much opportunity to surf, and today it was massive and almost too big, I guess. It's like half the river was almost a closeout and just whitewater, so it feels like, more time you can get out there, the best spots, you work out the best spots and try and make the most of it, but not a ball, it was great fun.
After a couple long days of competition, the teams decided to see what China had to offer. After dinner, the teams explored Hefeng Jia, A street that has everything from exotic foods to arts and crafts. A street that you can get lost in if you're not careful. The final day of competition, the teams woke up to an ominous weather spun off from Typhoon Usagi. Driving rain squalls and 60-knot winds almost sabotaged the event, but a break in the weather allowed the teams just enough time to complete the finals.
So it's the morning of the finals here in Hangzhou, and I'm about to head out. Me and Trent Munro competing against McCool Rothman and Kalani David, so should be a fun day out there. There's a bit of wind around and it's kind of rainy, so hopefully we can, by the time we get up there, the wind disappears and the wave comes through, and yeah, we both have a bit of fun down the river.
The weather looks like the silver dragon is here today. I don't know, we'll see.
You know, no pressure, just go out and have fun and see what opportunities are out there, and you know, get Macca into a couple of waves and yeah, have fun.
You like me now, slump doctor. Fires, decent stones, and your words behind my back. You can see it in my smile, I won't react, 'cause at the end of the day, who gives a fuck what the haters say?
Kind of lucky, we knew the left-hander in the inside kind of wedged up, and I was able to have like a steep section out there, and there's a bit of wash off the top, so I was able just to kick the fins out a couple of times on the top of the wave, but it's kind of sketchy because there's so much water moving off the lip out there, you can't kind of blast off it, but I think I did end up doing a couple of blasts that were okay for river surfing, but my legs were just killing, they were just like burning, at the end I just had to flick off, my legs were just too sore.
I did this one where I came back to like do a cut back and come up and hit it. My fins came out and I just threw my tail and like I almost got caught behind, and somehow like my board just like kind of like went right back on the wave.
After a hard-fought back-and-forth battle between Teams Ruka and Ocean and Earth, Team Ruka emerged victorious, claiming $10,000 for the win and the title of this year's Red Bull Qiantang Shootout Champions. The night after the competition ended, the teams were greeted to a performance from Kid Mac and an opportunity to let loose and enjoy their last night in China. As the night wore on and after many drinks, a dance-off erupted with the boys and girls showing us their best moves.
She goes up and I can go. She goes bang, 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 bang. She goes up and I can go. She goes bang, 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 bang. She goes up and I can go. She goes bang, 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 bang. With the fully automatic, got a wetter than a river. In the middle of the night, strobe light flashing, and I knew she was the one when I was wrong before I snatched it. So we passed her face when I passed her the pot. She said I didn't really take you for the fashion type we was. Steady dancing with the hand on my mic, I never had the chance to watch you put up a fight. We got back to the edge and she was ready to come back.
It was a night and trip the teams will not soon forget.
She can bang, 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 bang. She goes up and I can go. She can bang, 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 bang. She goes up and I can go. She can bang, 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 bang. She goes up and I can go. She can bang, 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 bang.
Thank you.